So every time it rains, this happens. We've cleaned it before, I've shown how to clean it, but every time we have to do it over and over again every few months. So the part where there's an overhang, this part, walang problema. You see there's no streaks, but all the other parts, meron. And this is fairly common for most modern houses. I think yung mga silingan namin meron din. Meron din, no? Ng konti. And that is what we're doing today. We're gonna finally find a way to get rid of that for good. Never coming back again. Yun yung plan. So we'll see if we can do it. This table is pretty awesome, by the way. I'll put up links down below. You see, I already know what to do with this one. But what I'm trying to do involves a lot of drilling. And that would mean bolts like this, nakikita sa facade. So, I've never gotten around to it. Until today. So, I cut out a portion to show my original plan. To place an angle bar here, this is an aluminum one, here, so that when it rains, dito siya nagsislide and diretso siya nagdidrip without touching the wall side, thereby preventing any streaks from happening throughout the wall area. Now, this is already something that's being used abroad, pero I can't find it anywhere. It's called a drip edge. So, I'm making my own version of it. Stick an angle bar there, and then bolt it here. And that is where I stopped entertaining the idea, because I didn't want these bolts to be shown around our house. Medyo not so pretty. But I was going through HomeBuddies online. Pinudul nyo na naman ako, guys. And this thing kept coming up. Para sa akin, parang nag-viral siya ng konti. And I bought some to test this out. This is the Builder's Bond by Pioneer. To give you an idea of what it is, because I haven't tried this yet, it's like Mighty Bond, but Mighty Bond na supersized, and it's meant for construction purposes. So, nung nakita ko to, parang, it's interesting. It might work because this is perfect for condo units na kailangan mag-hang up ng picture frame pero bawal magbutas sa holes, or even when you're putting some facade or even some repairing of tiles, I think this could work. So, I got some, but I still don't know if it works. So, it's time to test it out. I couldn't find anywhere else to test this on, so we're testing it out sa pedestal ng lamppost namin dito sa subdivision. Don't worry, I'll repair it after, I'm sure. So, we'll test it out with these bricks if makakadikit talaga siya, and if how long or how strong it can hold it, because I don't want na nagsasag siya bigla, or what if biglang nahuhulugan ng angle bar when we're walking towards the entrance. So, this is something we need to test talaga. Okay, now we have to wait. Actually, I don't know how long we have to wait for because I don't see it in the instructions. It's been maybe 30 seconds pa lang. That's why I'm putting my knee towards it. First impression is that hindi siya nagsasag. I thought that when I place this, magdi-drip down siya. Pero ang ganda because it stays there. That means less to worry about, like excess na kailangan tanggalin afterwards. So, pretty good sign. So I've been here for about a minute now. Okay, it still moves a little bit, so hindi pa siya pwedeng galawin. I was scared because if it took like 30 minutes for it to dry up, parang ang tagal ko siguro sa taas holding that angle bar to attach to the roof. Ginanito ko na lang, guys, while it's curing, just to be sure it's not disturbed so we can test it properly. But for now, let's clean the wall. So for those of you having the same problem that we have, what we do is fairly simple. We just wet it with a hose, and then we use a drill brush to take it out. It's just simply a brush that you attach to the front of your drill, and that's it. Diretso ka na. Considering it's just 100, 150 pesos, sobrang sulit talaga nito. But if you're dealing with a stubborn mold or like algae formation, you can use white vinegar. You can spray it on here and then leave it for a few minutes and then try it again with a drill brush and water. Guys, parang halos kada video na lang natin ganito yung ending. In our last video, we talked about removing white stains. And this was one of the products. So, calcium, lime, and rust remover, CLR. Kasi may nakikita kaming rust line sa concrete. So we tried it out. We put it in a sprayer, sprayed it on, and used a drill brush. And it's super effective. That's what's left of the rust. Kanina, sobrang grabe yung rust. And yung mukha ko. But now, it's almost gone. Just need a few more passes and okay na siguro. Okay, day 2, and we've let this cure for 24 hours, and now it's time to make sure it holds strong enough. So, whoa, grabe no? Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Kumuha ako ng backup, guys. Ayan. So it didn't fully cure yet, but it was strong enough to handle that abuse. So I'm sure if I left this for a week, magka-cure talaga siya. Hindi pa siya nag-dry. Ito lang yung outer area yung nag-dry. So I'm sure if we left it to dry, this would have been stronger. So Builder's Bond, this is 59 pesos per pack only. I'd say highly, highly recommended. So we're back here in our fancy DIY table. I love this table, by the way. Also linked down below. But for now, kung napansin nyo, yung angle bar dito, sobrang imperfect siya. Merong mga stains and then it's a little bit shiny and I don't want it to be shiny when we're hanging it up. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm grabbing my drill and we're just gonna buff out everything. So I just buffed it out, parang brushed aluminum na yung labas niya. And on the other side is the one we didn't touch. So ang laki ng difference between the two. I'll get back to you when we finish all this. I got the tube version of the Builder's Bond. And then, I got a gun for this. I'll put all the links down below, guys. We finished installing it. It was fairly quick and easy, and this is what it looks like. Makikita natin na may gaps ng konti. This is the Builder's Bond. And what I'm gonna do afterwards is seal it with a sealant para lang if it rains, hindi pumapasok dito. Just to be extra sure. And I highly recommend getting yourself a magnetic level. Yan. So we're gonna use this to make sure everything is level. Yung mga excess na nakikita natin, we've already tried it out na kaya siyang scrape lang naman, but you have to wait for it to dry and then you can scrape it out. Fairly easy, fairly straightforward install. We'll finish up everything and then we'll get back to you. Hi, mommy. Hi, baby. Daddy working. Okay, so we finished installing everything, and if you want to do something like this is what I recommend. You should be able to angle the angle bar downwards a little bit so that when the water flows down, it drips right away. It doesn't crawl back towards the inside of your wall, which defeats the purpose. Or you can use a U-shaped bar. Merong nabibili na instead of an angle, U yung profile niya. Pero dito, I felt like sa design purposes, mas bagay sa amin yung angle bar talaga. And since we've angled down the angle bar, may gap siya ng konti from the wall, which you can see right here. But we placed Elastoseal over all these parts. So, para yung tubig doesn't go through the gaps. One more thing we did is that it kept on raining. That's why I'm wearing a different pair of clothes because we had to reshoot this a few times kasi umuulan and natutunaw si Builder's Bond. Si Builder's Bond, pag tumigas na siya, okay na siyang mabasa. But while it's curing, dapat it's kept dry talaga. Now, Elastoseal can be applied even when it's wet or raining, but just to be extra sure, nilalagyan namin ng painter's tape just to be extra sure that it has the ability to dry. So I finally finished it, and this is what it looks like. So love, what do you think?
I'm not sure what I'm looking at.
The angle bar.
It looks the same.
That's good. Kasi hindi ako nagpaalam sa'yo.
I think the ano is just sharper. It's nice actually. It looks sleek. Good job.
So, when we first started this video, medyo, I'll be honest, natatakot talaga ako kung ano ang magiging final outcome ng angle bar. Would it be too shiny? Baka hindi bagay yung kulay? Or a lot of other factors, especially because it is the face of our home talaga. And now that I see it complete, it's actually not bad. Ang ganda ng trim niya, and it actually complemented the house in its own little way. Parang may konting added accent. And if you guys are thinking about doing this, you can either use an aluminum angle bar, you can use a steel angle bar, you can use the U channel that I talked about, and you can just paint it to whatever color that your heart desires. And if this video has been helpful, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you later.